Yeah.
All right, so we're here at the Let's Sit Down. We're here with three amazing women. You know what I mean? I'm the only man, so I got to be easy what I say today. But it's all good. All right, we're going to start with introductions real quick. I'm going to get Tay Taylor, Community Matters 2. We have Miss Asia right here.
I am Asia Brown. I am the owner of Janae's Palace Studio, and I'm a licensed special educator.
Hi, my name is Serene Danny. I am a program coordinator, a housing coordinator. I find housing for people with mental illness, and I'm exhorter at the church and a deaconess.
And I'm Sabrina Floyd. I'm a social service worker for Rip Van Winkle, and I just try to make a couple lives a little better.
So, real quick, thank you for being here. Appreciate you guys. We're going to sit down. We're going to talk. We have some good conversation. Just to start off, my opinion, I feel like black women for the last forever, but like recently have been like, y'all showing y'all face. Like, y'all here. We ain't nothing to play. That's just how I look at it. It's just like more and more as we go through, you just start seeing that strong black woman really, really emerge, even in places where some men are having a hard time even dealing with. And black women are coming in and just killing it and coming in with class and doing their thing. Let's see, a person I think of is Maxine Waters, Reclaiming My Time. I need my time. You know what I'm saying? Right there. When I saw that, I didn't know what you were talking about when I saw it. I was like, and then I was like, oh, okay, all right. And a lot of people don't even have, I've never even heard that before like that from like a black woman. That was amazing. We had Michelle Obama. We all know Michelle Obama. And she took the first lady to a whole nother level. You know what I mean? You really have, sometimes I think in the past we had first lady, but we really didn't, you know, she made it like she was a first lady. She really cared, and she was really a part of the presidency and started, instead of just being there. That's how I look at it. We have, matter of fact, the poet, Amanda, what's her last name? Amanda Gorman, correct? The inaugural poet?
Yeah.
How did you, like when you heard her poetry, like, and you saw her, like, at the inauguration, and this one, inauguration for like everybody watched this one. Like, how did that make you feel? Like when you saw that young girl up there, she was standing there with those powerful words. How did you feel? Like, what were you thinking?
I was proud.
Yeah.
I think I'm always proud of young girls. One, because it always is reminiscent to me being younger. You always think about yourself in that age. And I think she's still in her teens. I think
22.
She's like,
wow.
Okay, so she's 22.
Wow.
You know, so I'm like, me at 22, not the same,
Right,
absolutely. You know, not the same. But I was very proud, especially when I think about my students and just the trajectory. Like, wow, that could one day be them. You know, I was an English major in college, so naturally I gravitate to teaching English more so in school. And I always think about, you know, I always tell the kids, like, words have power. And, you know, one day you never know what platform you're going to be on. So I'm sure her teachers, like me, was very proud of her.
Yeah.
It was very eloquent.
I thought she made me feel proud too. And to be 22 years old, she was young, and her voice and her words, she did it with excellence and eloquence. It was just a beautiful thing to watch the youth up there making a difference, because she's, you know, she was on such a platform that she raised the bar for the people to come after her.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I think that is definitely going to be a good force for young black women.
So I got somebody else for you though.
Oh, God.
I got somebody else for you. Let me say this right. We were talking about this earlier. Kamala.
Yes.
Kamala Harris. All right.
Yes.
Cool. I said it right. First black. Wait, that's the first female. Period.
Yes.
Straight up.
Yes.
So she hitting layers. Okay, she hitting layers.
Yes.
So we got the first black female vice president. And she went to an HBCU.
HBCU grad, thank you.
Right. I'm on point. So, like, how did that make you, like, how do you feel it? Like, that's.
I mean, that's another proud moment for us.
Yeah.
You know, as black women, you know, they say we don't get that power to be in certain places. So you looking at exactly what we're doing. We first had a black president, you know. Now here we are as a first black female vice president. It's like you got no choice but to be proud. It lets you know that we're on the right track, you know, regardless of how the world might see us as these, you know, aggressive people, but we're making our stamp in history. You know, we've been part of history, but no, we're really like stepping up and showing them like we're more than what they think we are, you know. And there's a lot of us like her, you know. So we're looking at ourselves in her.
Yes. I think it also put the HBCUs on the platform. And
definitely.
I'm always an advocate because I went to an HBCU. I went to Morgan State University, you know, go Bears, you know. But yeah, I feel like for such a long time, you know, HBCUs period get a bad name. You know, a lot of times it's because of the funding and because alumni don't give back. But I think to have the second highest ranking position, you know, now be an HBCU grad, like you can't tell us nothing. If you didn't go to an HBCU, shame on you. You know, you can't tell us nothing. So that, extremely proud.
For me, when I saw her, I think I was proud, but I thought like, dudes, man, we gotta step it up, man. For real. Our women have.
Yes.
You kidding me? Like, we have to make sure that we back her, and at the same time keep her accountable. Let's be real about it.
Definitely.
But I'm very proud with it. It just made me look like you said. I was just like, damn, we on another level. We are the black president. I'm like, we there. I felt like we're there. Like, we just gotta stay true to what we believe in.
Right.
But I got a question. I got a question for you guys. What is it to be like a black woman? I say that. I say that because you're a woman, right? And through history, a man has kind of always been here. You looked at a man here. Men, you know, we kind of through history do what we want. Besides, you know, black men, we had our slavery time, different things like that. But a woman, sometimes I kind of looked at history like they were down here, because we didn't really recognize women played their place. That's what you did. You know, you took care. But as of now, it seems like it's just constantly changing. The black culture is changing, but I think it's more of a change for a black woman. You know what I'm saying? They got to change even more. So what is it to be a black woman like today? Like, what is it to be a black woman? You have
heard her side.
So we gotta go to you got kids.
I'm like processing it. Well, yes, I do have kids. I have one in the 80s, one in the 90s, and one in 2000. And they're all different decades. To be a black woman today, I would say is still challenging, but very rewarding.
Right.
You know, we are strong. We have a voice, and we are intelligent. And I think that we don't get a lot of credit, but if we're talking, going back, we were the first messengers from the tomb to give the message and stuff. And I'm still thinking that we are standing behind or beside, not behind, but beside our black men, letting them know that we are strong too, and we are here to support you, and you support us, and we can get things done.
I would agree and disagree, only in the sense that the timing, right? So looking at us right now in this generation, right? Us 30-somethings, well, speaking for myself, right? So the 30-somethings, you know, the fire between, like, so my sister she just turned 30, right? But we're 4 years apart. So the fire in looking at her group of friends and how much voice they do have and how much power they do command, and the way that they're using the platforms that we have, right? So, you know, I don't know our ages, but in terms of looking at my mom, she's 55. So our generation, she's like, okay, you guys have way more of a stance than we did, you know, not only because you have social media, but just your presence. Like everybody is looking at you, you know, everybody from the tanning industry, like you want to match my shade, you know, the people making hair, like you want textures like mine. So I think we have more of a presence and more of a voice. I think it just turns into how we use it.
Right.
And
Right.
if we know that we can use it, you know, I think that's where the conversation has to shift. Like, you know, you can speak, right? You know,
Right.
somebody is going to listen. My youngest is he has speech. He's speech disabled. So pretty much everything he says is lagging, right? I had to tell him the other day, I'm like, you know, people will wait to hear you talk, right? And I think just that empowerment of just, he's a young boy, but shifting that over to young women is the same thing, right? Giving them that power to say, like, you have a voice, you can speak, use it. People will wait and they'll listen to you. You know, I think we always have to give them that and to show them that it's okay. And then, you know, when we start to bridge the generational gaps of how my mom would think versus how I think, it starts to mirror, you know, and it starts to match.
Y'all have that nurturing thing about you.
Yeah.
Yes.
That nurturing thing, because my mother could say something to me and get at me, and I'd be like, Jesus. But at the same time, coming like, you know, you're all right, and I'm like, you right. You know what I mean? It's just that nurturing thing. What are some, like, your personal, like, what are some trials and tribulations that you run into, like, as a woman, like a black woman, like, through your life?
I think for me, the challenges I have is just trying to create a better image for other black girls. You know, I have a little black daughter. So it's like, I think that's the challenge. We live in a world where black women are betrayed in so many different ways. You know, a lot of it is sexual. You know, I mean, they say, oh, we are empowered by using our sexuality. We're not looked at. We shouldn't be looked at like we should dim our light for that. But it's like, at the same time, you know, we want people to look at us like that all the time? Because that's what they correlate with us. You know, here we are, these sexual females, because we are bold and we sit here and we are outspoken. So for me, that's the challenge, is trying to raise my daughter to not use her body or what she sees out here. Because the media, social media has changed, you know, it's access to everybody. And all our kids are open to it. So a lot of it is, you're seeing our, no disrespect to her, but our Megan Thee Stallions, are all of them who are saying they're empowering us to be open and sexual. But at the same time, we don't want our kids to be that. You know, we don't want our kids to mimic that, even though it's empowering for them to feel comfortable doing that. I don't want my daughter to be like that. I don't want her to look at sex as a means of getting ahead. You know, that's a lot of what's happening. You know, people are getting their bodies done, or people are saying, hey, I have a business. Whether it's them, think about it. These, what is they, fans, OnlyFans. So the OnlyFans thing is like, I'm selling something, you buy into it, I'm making money. I'm paying part of the, you know, economy by putting money into the economy. So people should look at me as a business. You know, I'm the business, but I don't want my daughter to use that. It's more part of us. Go ahead.
So going from you have a black daughter, raising black daughter. This is just a general question. The black man, because there's a lot of, let's say, the visuals and single mothers, and sometimes you think of single mothers, and you think of black single mothers. That's the way they paint it. It's not just black single mothers. There's single mothers all over the world. But the man aspect, because my point of view as a man, I always have to take care of mine, period. Whether I'm with you or not, I always got to take care of mine. So the man aspect, as far as, you got to raise a daughter. I'm not saying the father's in there, but you got to raise a daughter. Say you're a single mom, you're raising a daughter, right?
Which I am.
Right, so you're a single mom, you're raising a daughter. Do you think that the man aspect is very important when raising, especially a black girl, like raising?
You know, it's important, long as that man brings, you know, some values. You know, he has to be a man. He just can't be the male figure. He needs to be a man, so he can instill to my daughter what she should look for in other men, you know, as she's getting older, how she should feel about herself. He can't just be a male figure there. You know, he has to come with some values, you know, because even if we have the father there, sometimes they don't have that, you know. Some of our fathers are broken themselves. They don't have all the what should be there as well, you know. Go ahead.
No, I was just like thinking about it because I grew up with my dad, and I remember there was a point in time being in school where I was literally the only one in my classroom to have a 2-parent household. So just listening to you talk about how that, they have to be a man. I remember being like, I don't want my dad. I'd rather just be raised by my mom, because it seemed like it was such, it was like something that I should attain, like, wow. And then, of course, watching them go through their struggles of, my parents have been together since they were 16 and 19 years old. So it's just like,
they still got that same energy.
Yes, and they're still together. But like, of course, growing up with them, you see their trials and their errors and just how they raised us. And a lot of it was that give and take. My mom wanted us to be more freeing and outspoken, and my dad is like, yeah, but they're Black women, so they have to have a level of toughness.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes his toughness came across very mean, and it's something that I appreciate about myself now because it has made me stronger. So I definitely agree, like having that father who is a upstanding man and who can teach. Whether you're teaching through errors or,
Right.
Based off experience, you should be able to teach and give. So it means the world to us women that had their dads.
Right.
Yes.
I asked you this question earlier when we were looking at something else, and her face was just like this. So I definitely need your take on this.
Well, I have a daughter. She is 27. My son is 34, and my youngest is 20. So me being a single parent in this household, and the challenging thing was my daughter. Because my daughter, and if you talk to my daughter, she'll say, Mom did this and Mom did that. And I say, I don't remember that. I get amnesia because I don't remember. She goes, Mom, you pushed me, you pushed me, you pushed me. I had to. Because I feel that if I'm not there, you have to have survival skills.
Right, right.
You have to have survival skills. So I won't say her name, but she failed out of nursing school the first time. And she goes, oh, I'm not doing it. I'm not going to. I said, yes, you are, because this is what I did.
Right.
For you. I'm pushing you. You have to be better than me. You have to be able to survive with me and without me.
Right.
So you have to go back. And, now she's an LPN, and I pushed her again. Now she's in school now, getting her RN, and like, she's 27 years old. Her and her fiance, they bought a house. They have a 4-bedroom house, 2-car garage.
It's a Black girl magic.
You know what I'm saying? And she has a 2-year-old, and that's a whole nother level because he has so much energy. But, I constantly push her because she can be better. She can be a mentor to someone else,
Right.
Coming where we came from, and you're coming up, they're watching you come up.
Right.
So you are, even though they're not saying anything, they're watching you. They are constantly watching us,
Right.
how we respond to people. Everything, we don't have to respond to everything. Everything is not for us to respond, but we can make a mental note of it and give a kind word and whatever we can do to make the situation better or people better, or make people look at it different in a different way.
Absolutely.
It's the I gotta do it. It's when they're that part where somebody has to come out and show their talent or show what they gotta show. We got Miss Asia right here. We told her to bring some paintings, and the text back from her was, I didn't understand it, but it's all good. Yeah, I'm saying it on camera. But she bought the painting, so that's what we wanted. So just want to give you a quick minute to show your work and what you real quick. We got a painting right there that she did, a dope gorilla.
Yes.
Nice.
That is paint. Can you just speak on it just a little bit, like what?
So it's actually making me think about your first question of just the struggles as a Black woman, because as an artist, for me, it is so hard to just be vulnerable, which is why I sent you that text. Because you think about, well, the other artists on social media have on little clothing, And I don't paint like that, right? Even if I did paint like that, I'm not going to post a picture with my art because I want you to see my art. I don't want you to see me and my, you know what I mean? So it's like that over sexualization. So it was a vulnerable moment because, you know, it's like, this is a different platform.
Right.
And I'm presenting myself differently than I normally would. So, but my gorilla piece, I love it because it's almost like it's like a self-portrait, I guess.
That look like you?
No, not in that sense. Not in that sense, but in the sense of like just how it made me feel. Right. I think I did that one in 2019. So I was doing a series of animals. And I've always said like, oh, the elephant. I'm also a member of Delta Sigma Theta sorority. So I'm like, you know, I did this elephant, but it really didn't resonate with me until I did this gorilla. And I was like, oh my gosh, but it was something about the way I did the eyes. It just connected. I worked on those eyes for hours just because they were captivating to me. Just when you watch animals, I swear they like mimic women. You know, people always connect it. I always feel like they mimic women. You know, people usually connect animalistic behaviors to men, but I feel like it's just how they move is very majestic and very precise and calculated, and that's how we are, you know. Right. So
okay, I ain't gonna disagree.
So when I did the gorilla, that's, you know, I was channeling.
Well, we got two more right there. We want to see those things.
Okay, I have to hold this. So the other two. So this, talking about our little black girls, this was a piece that I actually saw online, but it was done as a little white girl. And, you know, there's nothing wrong with that, right? Mm-hmm. But we always have conversations about representation and how we see so little of us. Mm-hmm. And we just need more representation. Right. So, you know, I wanted to do this for I don't have daughters, but I teach little girls, you know, so I wanted to have this as representation for them. And then the other one, I call her Bloom.
I like that. That's pretty.
This one is more so for me. The butterfly I really feel connected to. The color purple is purple and movie. Turquoise.
Great movie. Go ahead.
It was a great movie, but the purple and turquoise are often symbolic in African tradition, and their spiritual rituals and just connecting to that. So it made me do that.
That's dope. I really like that.
It's a constant reminder to bloom and to flourish.
Yeah.
You know.
Your business again?
My business is Janae's Palette Studio. I am the owner and art director and all things.
Located?
Right here in Poughkeepsie, 103 Main Street.
Website?
Poughkeepsie. Janae's Palette Studio. Look at you. Y'all be thinking. I'm like, what is this? Janae'sPaletteStudio.com.
And I got holla out you want Sabrina or Beanie?
Whatever you want to call me.
We're going with Sabrina, parentheses Beanie, and social worker at Rip Van Winkle. And I know you don't say too much about it, but you do a lot down there. You do a lot, especially that garden that y'all just put together. Oh man, that garden is amazing. Within the last year, we started donating some things. She'd be like, hey, if you got it, bring it. And she gets it to all the residents and everything. Like, you do a lot. You do a lot down there. And I just want to...
Thank you.
While you're here, you know what I mean? And then we have the biggest supporter ever of Community Matters 2 right there. You was... We ain't got to talk about it. You already know. You already know. Speak about what you do. You're at a church, like.
Oh, I am an exhorter, meaning that I can preach when in the pastor's absence, or if I'm assigned to preach. I'm a deaconess, so I help with the communion and praying and visiting the sick, and I had. Children's youth ministry, Kingdom Kids. Well, we don't have any kids in the church anymore.
Yeah, I remember that.
Most of them, graduated, went to college and doing bigger things. And we're looking for the kids to come back so we can, develop, different programs for them. And I just, I reach out to Legette as much as I can, and his uncle,
Uncle
brother
Marv,
brother
yeah,
Marv.
right,
I
right,
love
right.
him to
Yeah,
pieces.
yeah, yeah.
He is awesome. He will have a question and get me studying, and I'll be up like 2 o'clock in the morning, like I gotta answer this question. And I have like my bookcase. I have a big one. It's like 6 tier, and then I have my other one, and it has all kinds of.
And he waiting for the answer too.
Yeah, and and I give it to him, and he'll text me back. He goes,
Yeah.
Sister Danny, I love you. You're amazing,
Yeah.
and thank you, and you bring it to life, and
Yeah.
it's just wonderful how I can adopt and adapt to different things in the church regarding I love elders. I love the elders because I feel that they have the most wisdom to sit under if we just listen. It's like they're not, just because they're older, that doesn't mean that they can't do anything. They can do a lot of things, and we can connect. Like as preparing the communion today, there was an elder there. I said, oh, well, community matters too. She go, keep me, I'll be a sponsor. I'll do this and I'll do that. I said, well, I'm going to go there and let me get through, some more information. And I'll give that to you. And then, Sister Reeves, she was like, Serene, I have these new socks and this and that and the other. And I said, they're brand new. She goes, yeah. Can you distribute them somewhere? I said, I'll find a way to distribute them to somewhere. I said, no, well, let me speak to Community Matters or anybody over here that, backpacks and anything that, they want to give me free. And I think that is of good use, I will share.
Yeah.
No, that's what's up. See, you guys are doing it. You ladies are doing it, and that's and I feel like the black woman, you guys have to adapt. Like you guys adapt. Like I always look at women adapt so much better than men. I think men for real. I got as time before I was young. I was like, we the men. You know what I'm saying? We the men. You know what I mean? The women are the women. Now, men break, women bend. That's how I think about it.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Men will break. We can break. Women have to bend because of you got the nurturing part. Then you have to go out in the same world that we go out into. Then you have to come back. You get what I'm saying? So
we're like palm trees.
Pretty much.
Yeah, right. Even after the storm, y'all still there.
Yes,
right.
You can bend us all
Even
the
after
way
the storm,
down.
y'all still there.
We're gonna come back no matter what.
Yeah.
So
and we come back stronger.
Absolutely.
So what would you say, like if I ask you, real quick, just give me a short little something. The best you're the best you right now. Just say you're the best you. What would you say to like young girls coming up? Like just if you had 2 sentences just to say to a young girl real quick, like what would you say? You had her for you got her for 10 seconds. What's that one thing you're gonna say to her?
Love yourself. You have to learn how to love yourself before you can even give love to anyone else. Appreciate yourself. Be aware of yourself. Be mindful of yourself. We look at social media, and the first thing you see is our young girls,
right?
With their backside out and doing these dances. And social media is on there forever. And when you're looking for jobs and stuff, it's hard because even with the landlords that I deal with, they now patrol the social media.
Right.
In every aspect, whether you had, even back in the day when there was MySpace and now Twitter and Facebook and all these other avenues. And that's a way to look at them and say, no, I don't want to rent to them. I can't do this and that.
So your message is love yourself.
Yes.
Find out who you are before you start giving your love out. Learn to love yourself first.
Yes.
What would you say?
Mine would be believe in the dream. Believe in your dreams, and don't give up. Because, we kind of follow the norm, instead of going for our dreams. We're limited on that because we're looking at what people say, how we going to survive in the world.
Right.
We got to go get a job. But, our job could be our dreams, Live out your dreams.
That's dope.
It's funny. I was just going to say be you. honestly, whatever that looks like, however you wake up in the morning, however you feel, be your authentic self, because she is the one that when you get, you know, in your quiet place in life, you're going to remember her. So, yeah.
I would say watch this episode and listen again. That's what I would say. So just to get as we get near the end, what has been your drive? And when I ask that question, I'm not just saying just business wise or whatever you're doing. I'm saying like in general as a person from here to where you're at now. You guys are accomplished. You ladies are accomplished in what you do. You guys, you ladies are very, you know what I mean? You're very good at what you do. So what has been your drive to get to where you're at now? Like what's kept you through everything that's happened in your life? And we have our ups, we have our downs. What has been your drive to just keep pushing forward and keep moving forward?
She always ready. So she's always ready.
I know the Lord in there with you too. Come on.
My drive to try to be better than I was yesterday.
That's a good one.
I compete with me. I don't have to compete with you because you're shining.
Right.
You're supposed to shine, and we all are supposed to shine. So for me to be better than I was yesterday, because yesterday I probably didn't get something right. I probably snapped at somebody. I didn't give anybody the finger because I don't do that anymore. But, you know, my facial expression tells it all, and I have to be better now, mindful of, you know, people watching my mannerism and how I respond to people. And I've learned that sometimes your smile is a ministry, because your smile is something that somebody isn't needing, since we can't hug because it's COVID.
Right.
But you can smile, you know, and you can be better than you were yesterday. And God knows I don't get everything right, but I want to do a better job than I did yesterday in responding to someone with a better attitude, or, you know, think before I speak, because I can be abrasive and a little rough because, you know, I have this like interior where, you know, survival. And right now it's not about so much as my survival, because what I had to survive and how I had to survive back then is different than now.
Right.
That is in the past. I can't worry about the past, but it's the future.
Right.
And people are watching you. So, you know, although you've been hurt in the past, broken, battered, and bruised in the past, you're not the past. There is a future you can look to and be better than you were yesterday.
Come on, bring us a word.
Next.
I was ready.
Okay.
My turn?
Yeah, what's your job?
Sheesh, what would I say? My mom, something she said to me years ago. She said, always remember the 5 Ps, I think, when she moved me into my dorm. So it's proper preparation prevents poor performance.
Ah, yes, I've heard that before.
I literally live by that. It doesn't matter what the task is. I always think, okay, how can I be properly prepared so that I do not have a poor performance?
Right.
So being a mom, being a business owner, being a teacher, being a wife, whatever hat I'm wearing, I literally go through those steps. And I keep a journal. Going back to what I said about being my authentic self, and I think for me, I've learned over the years, in conjunction with, you know how you always hear messages of positivity, but I've always heard, like, write it down. You know, when you write it down, it becomes real life. It becomes something that you know, now set yourself on that course to do. So those are the things that helps me. That's
Dope.
Keep me motivated.
My drive is love. I love everybody for the most part. No, I do. You know, it's like my drive is I love my kids. So the purpose for them to have a better life, and I get up every day, they're driving me. It's the love for them. It's the love for people who I don't know. You know, I love people. So because I love people, they drive me to get up every day and do what I do. So it's just that's the whole purpose. I love, and through God, He helps me love people even more. So I love myself because I love Him. I love him, so it's gonna come out like to everybody, like, oh, she just loves to do this. Well, that's my purpose. You know?
Yes.
So that's my biggest drive. I know God loves me, so I love everybody without judgment.
All right, so we're about to end this. Is there one last message anybody wants to say? Anything from your side that you would just like to? Remember, this is Black History Month, so is there anything that you would just like to say or just like remember on or anything like that? Let me start real quick. I just want to rest in peace to Cicely Tyson.
Absolutely.
Beautiful Black woman,
Yes.
always smiling. Great actress. She was just a beautiful woman. So rest in peace and love to her and her family.
I know speaking of her, I just posted her quote where she was like, "Hey, Queen."
Yes.
I think because we are, beautiful Black women, that is something that we should welcome every day. Is that energy of, "Hey, Queen," whether it's looking yourself in the mirror, writing it in a journal, whatever your daily practice is, acknowledge that. Acknowledge it. Acknowledge, just where you are in your space, what you plan to do, and, be there. Like, we are talking Black history, but I always like to say Black her story too,
Okay.
right? Because we are making her story,
Yes.
right? Especially
Yes.
as Black women. We were
Right.
just talking about Kamala Harris. Like, she is making her story. So, remember that. Like, pay homage to all of the greats that came before us and, look
Exactly.
at what they did to make, them great and adapt that.
Right.
Adapt it.
They paved the way for us.
They did.
Even though, as they paved the way, you can look back and you can be proud of the Black women that came way before us. Because I was looking at Cicely Tyson, and it brought me back to the autobiography of Miss James Pittman, and wanting to look at that movie and get that history and what she had to go through. But she set the stage for, everybody else, like Oprah Winfrey.
Right.
She set the stage for someone to come after her. And she was 96 years old, stellar, beautiful.
Yeah.
And it's, yes, rest in peace, but, we still have her.
Right, 100%.
Yeah. So I would say, as Black history or herstory is, continue to pave those ways. This is not us. This is not the end of us. We will always create our herstory. So I say, continue to pave these ways and stomp and make noise in the process so everybody can see we as Black women, we're not somebody that's just standing behind. We're actually on the forefront, especially at these times. It only gets better for us.
Right.
So.
Well, just want to say real quick, thank you to all of y'all. I love hearing y'all talk. This was a different atmosphere than the first episode.
I'm sure.
But I love it. I give my own hand clap to you because I know, as women, especially as Black women, we gotta go through different things that we don't really have to go through. And thank you for nurturing us because you guys nurture from before we're born. You're nurturers, period. As men, we can't. You guys are nurturers. Your bodies are.
That's what we do.
That's exactly what we do.
Right.
We do.
So thank you very much. I appreciate you. This is Let's Sit Down, episode 2. Community Matters too.